Digital India is a great initiative by the Indian government. It represents a new beginning. At the backdrop of creating a participative, inclusive, responsive, and transparent government, Digital India becomes a new innings in the transforming the largest democracy into a deepening democracy by empowering citizens digitally. Now let us consider why the Indian government has taken the Digital India project in the first place. Every beginning has a reason that necessitates the germination of transformative ideas with a vision of translating the prerogatives of fundamental tenets of society into modern disruptive realization that mark an unprecedented novelty. As India is evolving to become a global emerging economy, it is imperative for the country to advance in participatory democracy, a suitable setup in which all citizens should have access to public information, debate on government policies, and contribute towards policy making of the nation irrespective of economic and social divides. Governance is not one-way process now. It is more about inclusiveness, deliberations, and cooperations and co-creations. In a progressive nation like India, where majority of the populations are youth, it is rational to think about nation state where disruptive transformation is required to deliver a big push to the socio-economic index of the nation. While society is changing with reference to global exposures, is more exhilarating at this juncture is the faster evaluation of technology, especially information technology. And this prompts government to think about making IT the prime driver of development by connecting every citizen digitally to leverage the power of citizen participation in governance. The current government endeavors to empower citizens by making them digital by providing access to information for smart governance with transparency in the system. And that is the advantage point for bringing digital India to the center stage of governance and good governance for all citizens, rich and poor, irrespective of their gender and geography. Now let us consider the drivers behind Digital India. Every program of the government is always steered by its core visions. Digital India is no exception. Digital India too captures the vision of the government to transform the existing ecosystem of governance and public services by leveraging the power of IT, that is information technology. The catchphrase the Indian talent IT plus Indian technology IT is equal to India tomorrow IT emphasizes on making India a digitally connected nation. While launching the Digital India program, the government of India articulated its vision for this program quite consciously. The vision is to transform India into a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. Digital India hinges on three key vision areas. Number one, digital infrastructure as a core utility to every citizen. Number two, governance and services on demand. Number three, digital empowerment of citizens. These three visions actually form the basis of everything that is going to happen in the digital India world. Digital infrastructure as a core utility to every citizen is a vision helps to achieve the larger goals of Digital India. A well-connected nation is a precondition to a well-served nation. The objectives of the government are to facilitate the remotest Indian villages to be digitally connected through broadband and high-speed internet. This further ensures that delivery of e-governance services to every citizen's social benefits and financial inclusion can be accomplished. This will help government to reach every person no matter where he is located in India, irrespective of geography and gender. The second vision area of Digital India is governance and services on demand. This focuses on transparency and speed of government process. Although many state governments have initiated e-governance since decades, the inclusion of citizens in government schemes and programs is still in a state of progress. In India, e-governance got its initiations when state and central government started computerization of paper-based documents and automation of policy-making processes. The third vision area focuses on digital empowerment of citizens. Digital connectivity creates a level playing field for all citizens, irrespective of demographics and socio-economic strata. Indians today are digital savvy thanks to the evolution of internet and mobile technologies. The Digital India program aims to transform India into digitally empowered society by connecting on digital literacy, digital resources, and collaborative digital performance. Towards this, it would like to take up programs to literate people on digital platform. Now let us consider the pillars of Digital India. Any program needs a concrete architecture to succeed. In order to make Digital India program the most successful initiative, the Government of India defines the 9 pillars of Digital India. Each pillar not only supports the ambit of program but also comprehensively contributes to the uninterrupted success of the program. The first pillar is called broadband highway. It is the first pillar of digital program, plans to connect 2.5 lakh village panchayats via National Optical Fiber Network, also called NOFN. This will empower the rural population to access government programs easily and effectively. In order to push NOFN to its logical destination, Bharat Broadband Network Limited (BBNL) has been established by the Government of India with an authorized capital of 1,000 crore. BBNL is mandated to create the NOFN by connecting around 2.5 lakh gram panchayats spread over 6,600 blocks and 641 districts of the nation. This project will provide access universally to all citizens across panchayats. The second pillar is called universal access to mobile connectivity. This intends to provide mobile connectivity to all inaccessible regions in the country. Today, roughly 42,000 villages in India do not have mobile coverage. The Department of Telecommunication, as the nodal agency, manages to project with a cost slated 16,000 crore during 14 and 18. This indicates that by 2018, India will have complete mobile coverage. The third pillar of the Digital India program is Public Internet Access Program. The government plans to create 2.5 lakh common service centers, abbreviated as CSCs, mapping one CSC to each Gram Panchayat. Today, India has already 2.42 lakh CSCs spreading across 1.62 lakh panchayats. CSCs would be multifunctional endpoints for delivery of government and business services. The fourth pillar is called e-governance, reforming government through technology. This enables government to use IT to simplify, transform government process more efficiently so that the delivery of government services can be effective across various government departments. The fifth pillar of Digital India program is e-Kranti, electronic delivery of services. Considering the rationality of transforming e-governance and m-governance to deliver good governance to all citizens in India, e-Kranti carries the vision of transforming e-governance for transforming governance. Already 44 mission mode projects are executed under e-Kranti. Today, e-Kranti offers 3,325 e-services, making it a huge success. Information for All is the sixth pillar of the Digital India program. This drives transparency in governance. Under open data platform, ministries and departments release information proactively for public use and consumption. Online hosting of information and documents facilitates open and easy access to information. The next and seventh and the most important pillar of Digital India program is called electronics manufacturing. A study by the government suggests that the demand for electronic goods is drastically rising with a 22% CAGR, that is cumulative annual growth rate, and is expected to reach the American dollar of 4 billion by 2020. In order to give electronics manufacturing a boost, and the government has launched several initiatives for the development of electronic sectors in the country. Over 250 investment proposals for electronics manufacturing have been received in the previous years with a total investment of about 1.2 lakh rupees. The eighth pillar of Digital India program is called IT for Jobs. It focuses on providing necessary training to the youth in smaller towns and villages for availing employment opportunities in the ITES sector. The government targets to train 10 million students from smaller towns and villages for IT sector jobs over the next few years. The government also has a target to train 3 lakh service delivery agents as part of skill development to run viable business delivering IT services. The India BPO promotion scheme, also called IBPS, envisages under this program to seek incentivize entrepreneurs for establishing 48,300 seats in BPO and ITS operations across the country with an annual employment potential of 150,000 youths in rural and smaller cities. With project outlay of more than 493 crores, this scheme would help in capacity building in smaller cities in terms of infrastructure and manpower, which will become the base for the next wave of IT and ITES led growth in the country. Similarly, the Northeast BPO promotion scheme NEBPS will incentivize BPO and ITS operations in the Northeast region for creation of employment opportunities for the youth and growth of IT and ITES industry. The NEBPS, with a target of 5,000 seats, can provide employment up to 15,000 youth in the Northeast region. In addition to this, the government plans to train a rural workforce on telecom and telecom related services and envisages a target for training 5 lakh rural workforce for the purpose of developing India. The final and the ninth pillar of the Digital India program is called Early Harvest Programs. This consists of the projects which can be implemented within a short timeline. Some projects under this program include IT platform for messages, Wi-Fi in all universities, secure email within government, public Wi-Fi hotspots, and SMS-based weather information. This also includes Aadhaar-based attendance system for government offices.